Hello everyone, welcome to my heated vest review. My name is Nikita and today we're going to be reviewing the Ororo men's heated vest compared or versus the Muske heated vest. Now, this first heated vest, the Ororo, is made by the company Ororo, based in Nevada in the United States. And the Muske vest is made by a Canadian company called ewool, based out of Montreal, Quebec. So let us begin. First of all, I got both of them very fast in the mail, and they both came in their own packaging. The Ororo comes with a nice little compartment where you can store it when you don't need it for off season, and it also came with these universal plugs, not only with the charger, which is a nice extra bonus because when you're traveling, if you're going skiing somewhere else or anywhere that's cold that you might need the vest, you have access right away to being able to plug your vest easily. The Muske unfortunately did not come with those extra universal chargers, but it has all your basic needs, your plug and battery for the vest. And the Muske heated vest came in this clear packaging for storage, which also works great. Let's begin by looking at a little bit of design. So with the Ororo, put it on, it is your typical poofy kind of style vest, and the advantage of this poofiness is that it has synthetic insulation, which by itself is really good. So keeps you warm without having to press any electric heat involved, which is nice. I really enjoyed that because I wore it a lot of days where it wasn't cold enough to start the electric heat, but was still warm enough to keep me nice and comfy. So that's one big advantage that the Ororo vest has, that I find the Muske is also fairly warm on its own, but not as much as the Ororo. So that's a little bonus that the Ororo vest had. In terms of look, it's pretty slim fitting. The Muske is even more trendy, as you'll see, but this is, like I said, your typical poofy vest design. Another neat feature is at the neck area, the collar is very nice and snug to the neck, which makes the heat felt that much more. And yes, it does have a heating element in the neck area. It has two in the front pockets and one major one at the higher back shoulder blade area. Whereas the Muske has one at the neck, like the Ororo, two at the front, which basically are more at the breast area, chest, breast, and one at the back that pretty much does a big portion of that back up to the battery, which is here in the zipper pocket, you can see. So, other neat features. So with the Ororo vest, your zippers are your basic quality, no-name zippers that work pretty well. I had a little hiccups on some versions of this vest because I've tried a few, but overall, fairly good, no major issues. The materials of this vest are all synthetic, ripstop kind of nylon for the front, and it does have some kind of water repellent, so you can wear this as an outer shell, and it does cut the wind as well. The Muske, according to manufacturer, is only to be worn as a mid layer and not an outer layer, so it does not have the water repellent, but it is somewhat wind resistant as well, so you could technically wear it outside as long as you don't have any rain or snow. Now, other features with the Ororo vest is that it has that ripstop so that it doesn't, I guess it It's a more solid material, but it still feels like a very soft and not too resistant fabric. I have a feeling if you were to get this caught against something sharp, it wouldn't take very much for it to rip apart. Whereas the Muske, you feel that the material is a thicker, almost like kind of, not carbon fiber, but
what I'm trying to say here is it's a very resistant damier polyester-like fabric that will last a very long time.
Material that you'd have more on a backpack and so on. All right, so other last thing to say about the materials is that, like many down vests, this one's not down, it's synthetic, but it does, for some reason, the synthetic material is starting to seep out of the holes just like down feathers would. So that's one thing to watch out long term. I've had this vest for a few months now and use it almost every day, so I do put a lot of use to it, but that's one thing that kind of surprised me, that even though it's synthetic, all the little wires are coming up. Now, in terms of battery, let's look at our batteries. So the Ororo vest has a small kind of square battery that is, as you can see, right on the left side of the vest, and a nice neat pocket that's inside. And battery not too big, not too heavy, will last up to 8 hours on the lowest setting, and the highest setting 2-3 hours on average, right? Everybody's different depending on use and how you charge your batteries, but that's about the general understanding from the company and what I've noticed also wearing it. So you have a battery indicator on the side of the battery that lets you know how much juice is left in there. So now I have 3 orange lights out of 4 that are lit, meaning it's at 75% of its capacity. You can charge your cell phone with both the Muske and Ororo's battery because it has a USB. The difference between the two is, as you'll see in a sec, this is half the battery size compared to the Muske, which is much bigger. Your cabling also. Cabling in the Ororo vest is your standard cabling that I've seen in most heated vests. I've tried on the Milwaukee heated vest as well, and it was the same kind of thing. I mentioned this because the Muske heated vest has a thicker gauge cabling, which allows it to provide more power and more heat. All right, so let's try on the Muske vest now. So as you can tell, very nice trendy look. I like to compare this to the kind of SWAT tactical vest because it has a nice design, nice and sleek black. Here you have a lot more space in the neck. It's not as snug, the collar of this vest, as the other one. So that's kind of one small disadvantage that I noticed, and that could, you know, everybody's different. My neck won't be the same size as some of yours. A neat feature that this one has, they both have, these are both medium size, but this one has the kind of elastic stretch on the side, which allows for many different shapes of people to be able to wear the same medium size. If you have that big gut, it's not a problem. You can still wear this vest and be comfortable with it and snug, right? The whole goal of heated vests is to have them snug to the body. Another neat feature is the pockets. You have a nice vertical pocket at the top, which I love on any jacket or vest because you can put your cell phone, your wallet, it's easy to access. Good job on that. Ewool. Side pockets, both of them, the Ororo and this one. Back pocket, as I showed earlier, which carries the battery pack. I'll show you the battery now. Zippers are YKK, very good quality. Both have the inner flap, both the Muske and the Ororo vest, to kind of cut the wind and prevent maybe some rain or snow.
Another advantage is that it's a shorter vest, so you can fit a tool belt or police belt under it.
So the disadvantage of this bad boy is the fact that it is heavy. It is twice the size of the Ororo battery. And the reason for this is because ewool wanted a heated vest that was going to be warmer than all the competition. They claim it's about 3 times warmer, and for sure, I haven't done the heat test on it with a heat gun, but I can tell you just by experience that it definitely is the warmest vest I've tried, and I've tried 4 different heated vests on. You just feel a more even distribution of the heat. That's the biggest change I noticed. All the other heated vests, you kind of, if you feel your back right away, you'll notice that it's just in that top back area that you feel the element. Whereas with the Muske vest, you really feel it in the whole back, not just the top. And same thing, the front elements, which are both vertical, kind of the length of the vest, you kind of feel it everywhere. So it's a nice even heat. And it only has 2 heating settings, which I'll show you in a few minutes. And the Ororo has 3. So the medium setting, a high setting, and a low setting on the Ororo. And the Muske just has the medium and the high setting. Disadvantage of having just medium and high is that it does not have an 8-hour duration. This battery maximum will last you 4.5 hours at the low setting, so medium setting, and 2 to 2.5 hours at the high setting. So if you're going to be using this all day in heavy use outside, directing traffic or working in a freezer, you're going to have to swap this battery out. Now, that being said, in the case of Ororo, I'm not sure it would last much longer, because you'd still need to have it at a fairly high setting to produce the same kind of heat that you'd have in the Muske. So those are the major differences. The fact this battery is twice the size and not as rounded on the corners makes it a little uncomfortable. And truthfully, if you are going to be using it seated, like I like to wear my vest in the car as well on those minus 30, 40 Celsius cold winter days, it was just amazing to be able to start your vest and go in your vehicle before anything's actually warmed up. You still feel pretty nice and toasty. So driving, not comfortable to have that battery right in the middle of the back. You feel it right away when you lean on your cushion. Same thing in a chairlift. If you're skiing, I've tried both vests, and same thing, it's really not comfortable. So the go around for that for now is just to put the battery in your side pocket instead, and that allows it. Let me just plug the battery back in so I can show you guys the settings. But yeah, I was saying you can put the battery, instead of having it completely in the back zippered pocket that's made for it, you can put it on the side, inside the side pocket, and there's an auxiliary extra cable built in that's right here, and that cable allows you to plug your heated vest to a snowmobile or a motorcycle. So for those of you who are into that, that is another advantage. Even though this battery doesn't last as long, you can go ahead and plug it to a 12 volt adapter. So if we look at the 2 settings, as I was saying, you have the start button at the bottom, whereas on most heated vests, including the Ororo, the start button is right at the top. So when I press my Ororo vest button, you see that light starts flashing red. As many people have said in their reviews, you see that from a mile away, and people always ask you, why is your vest red or blue or white, depending on the setting. So I don't necessarily like to always have that kind of flashy light as I'm walking. So the advantage that Muske came out with is that theirs is at the bottom, it doesn't show as much, and it's on a little flap that can actually be tucked under. So right now I've hidden that light, nobody sees it anymore. So very nice feature. Other neat feature, the reason they put it at the bottom instead of having the button right on the chest area like other vest, the competitors, is that you have to unzip your jacket because it's supposed to be a mid-layer vest and reach in, press that button, let the cold in. Whereas with the Muske, well, you don't have to reach in. It actually is accessible right at the bottom of your coat. If you're wearing a coat over it, so you just put one-handed, you can easily grab it, find it. Really nice feature. Another bonus is that if you press it slightly, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but the light indicator, you see those 4 white LEDs light up, which tell me my battery is full. So I get to see battery life right on the outside. I don't have to unzip, remove my battery, press the button to see, which I can also do with a Muske, as well as the Ororo vest. But with the Muske, the advantage is you just press the button and it tells you your battery life. So you press it for 3 seconds, same as any heated vest or device, and it lights up red. And if you press it again, it lights up white. So the red is the high setting, which will last, like I said, 2.5 hours. This battery outputs 60 WH, which I think is watts per hour, and or correct me if I'm wrong. And the Ororo has 26 watts per hour, so you can see how it's a little bit over double the watts per hour for the Muske vest. You really do feel that difference. Now, the question that you must ask yourself is, do you need a Ford Explorer or are you looking for a Porsche? Because ultimately, that's one of the major differences, is price and quality of the vests. They're both built nice, right? Ford Explorer's still a very decent car. It's not a Porsche though. So you're going to be looking at $500 for the Muske heated vest, which in big part is the battery that's, like we said, over double the power. And the build quality of the vest, like I said, this is a flimsier material. I think it won't last as long. But both companies stand behind their products. I've had zero problem with customer service, and I have dealt with both their customer service and been very impressed and happy with them. I'm just gonna show you the Ororo heated vest with that 3 indicator lights, so you can see the difference. So this one here is on red right now. I press it again. It goes out of, it was flashing because it's kind of in the preheated mode where it reaches its temperature, and then it goes to default red, and then white, and then blue. So red for the hottest setting, 2 to 2.5 hours of heat. The white, which is your medium setting, same as the Muske vest. The advantage, I guess, if you will, is that you also have a blue setting, but in Muske's defense, they're saying, do you really need that low setting? When do you ever use your heated vest if you're going to keep it on low? It's a matter of opinion, I guess. So then you just hold it for 3 seconds and you power it out. So those are the major differences between the two vests. Okay, price, I said $500 for the Muske heated vest, whereas this one's $200. You can buy it on Amazon. The Muske you buy directly from ewool. So just quick resume, Ororo vest, very hot on its own, nice and comfortable at the neck area, keeps you nice and snug. If you like that snug feeling, this is an awesome vest for that. It's your average, right, $200 vest. You have many competitors at that price, but I think Ororo is one of the best ones. Those heated pockets give you a nice warm belly and warm hands when you need them, which I thought was a nice bonus to a lot of the competition that doesn't have that. And like I said, a nice toasty neck, beautiful. It's comfortable to wear. When you wear it in the car, the fact the battery's on the side, easily comfy when you're seated and pressed against the backrest. Doesn't matter where you are. So very well designed. They've thought of everything in that aspect. They just need to work on their build quality of the materials long term, I think. Whereas the Muske advantage, you'll get more heat, you'll get a product that'll last you longer, you'll get that nice SWAT elite look. I mean, like I said, the battery indicator being outside, a lot of extra details, and one also very neat feature that I forgot to mention, the Muske has an auxiliary charge port, so you can plug your power outlet, wall power outlet, directly in the vest here, instead of removing the battery completely every time like all heated vests like the Ororo. That's what you got to do. You remove the battery, plug it, put the battery back in. With this one, you have it on your hanger, you just pull the cord out and off you go. You don't need to worry about putting a battery in and out of anywhere. So awesome little feature. So these are two great vests. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below. Thank you to Ororo and ewool for allowing me to do this review. Goodbye, everyone.